Pale Voyager in chat says, I've had a nocturnal circadian rhythm my entire life. Like, as an infant, I wouldn't sleep at night and sleep during the day, and my entire life has been an uphill battle trying to be awake while the sun is up. Pale Voyager says, I blink and suddenly I'm awake at night again. Very, very, very difficult. Anyways, the appointed time is upon us. That means it's time for more Final Fantasy V, which is right here. This is where it should be. Yeah, Pale, that's just, you know, meow. Yes, meow. That's what you're supposed to say. Nikki says, my body prefers waking up around 10 to 12, and that's been okay. I prefer 10, though. Corvax, I want you to answer me a question. Should I reveal our sleeping secret to the chat here? And while I await an answer, I'll explain what happened. Last time on Final Fantasy V, the wind crystal shattered to little tiny pieces, which is bad because that is how wind happens. And so this time, I'm going to try to make sure that doesn't happen to the water crystal. But first, it's time to revisit the home of one of our party members, Lena, the Princess of Tycoon. This soldier here says, thank heavens you're back safe. The Chancellor wishes to speak with you. Well, I guess we've got an appointment with him, too. This girl says, Princess Lena! Exclamation mark. This kid also says that. This other kid says, you're back. And this woman says, oh, Princess Lena. Very one note. This other girl also says, oh, Princess Lena. They don't really have much to say. They're just happy to see the princess, apparently, for some reason. Korvac says you should share that because you wanted to earlier. Okay, so Korvax and I discovered very recently a sleep hack called Don't Do Daylight Savings. When Daylight Savings rolled around in March, we pushed back our wake-up time and bedtime by an hour, and also pushed back everything else during the day. So we kind of just pretended the time change didn't happen. And yeah. Pale Voyager says, I actually noticed this. See, I was expecting you to, Corvax and I were expecting you to kind of bring it up at one point. Pale, what do you mean by that question? Anyways, back to game action while I wait answers. The guard of the castle has been weakened by monster raids, because monsters have been getting worse since the crystal broke, because, you know, the world's kind of just falling to pieces, much like the crystals. But now, the Chancellor and the Kingdom really want their princess back, and Lena says, no, I'm on an adventure. She says, more importantly than my responsibility to the Kingdom, I have a responsibility to the world. Right now, we are all in danger. Very selfless of Lena. Pale Voyager, that is exactly how Korvax and I expected that you would notice at some point that we had changed something. Is because, you know, we were going to be able to make your Tuesday streams for the whole stream. Korvax says, world falling to pieces? I wouldn't know what that feels like. Me neither. Lena then says, father is alive. Oh, by the way, her dad apparently died, but didn't actually die last time on Final Fantasy V. Basically, we have reasons to be on adventure, which is good, because adventure is the fun thing in this game. So basically, Castle Tycoon will have to just deal with not having their princess for a while. Pale Voyager in chat says, I made a mental note but didn't intend on calling you out. That's nice, Pale. Again, we were kind of just expecting you to say, what's the deal? Why are you making my streams all of a sudden? But you know, unfortunately, that won't last into daylight savings being over, because you'll go back to being 2 hours away from us, as opposed to right now we're basically kind of sort of 1 hour away from you, time zone wise, because we don't observe daylight savings. But anyways, it's been life-changing. I consistently feel sleepy at sleep time. Correct, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I don't feel sleepy tired in the morning. I wake up and I'm refreshed, and at night I fall asleep pretty quickly. And it has been transformative because, like, I've never felt that way before. I mean, if anything, Pale, about the brick house remark, we're doing the opposite of being brick house. We are doing the thing that we're living in accordance to the needs of our bodies, as opposed to, you know, societal delusion, like if you change the time on the clock, the time changes, which is so weird, because throughout most of human history we've not done that. Daylight savings is such a new thing and everyone just really likes it, even though it's further away from how people would normally sleep. It's probably the cause of many sleeping disorders, is the daylight savings months, the bright months, people forcing themselves out of bed much earlier than they're supposed to be. Anyways, I think I'm going to avoid reading things out while I talk to y'all in chat. Just because I want to get enough progress in the game. So anyways, Nikki in chat says, my body refuses the standard daylight schedule, but I can imagine that keeping with that adjustment once you find the sleep schedule needed. Yeah, no, it's just because basically we didn't have to adjust like sleeping at all at daylight savings. We just slept, you know, just kept the standard time sleep schedule. Pale Voyager says the tumult of an active chat. Yeah, that's just how it is. Nikki says that's probably a good idea. I get super wordy. It's okay. Thankfully, I'm pretty familiar with the story of this game. I will summarize cutscenes if I just end up skipping through them because of chat. Bartz is hearing things at night. Just kidding, he overslept. I love the way the characters are written in this version of the game. They're very expressive, they're very themselves. They have very peculiar ways of speaking. Nikki says something that is very relatable to me. Blarg, I'm feeling productive but can't zero in on anything. I have 8 or so different projects I've started over the years, though over half were started in the last year. That's very relatable, Nikki. I feel that way too. I have... see, I don't know if you feel this way. But I don't like talking about my projects unless they're far enough along that I have something really worth showing, because I don't really want to be held accountable, I guess, or not held accountable, but like feel like people are expecting me to finish it, in case it's just like, oh, like I've lost interest for whatever reason. Korvax in chat says, oof, I'm feeling almost the polar opposite of that. I can't start anything new even though I want to. Yeah, I mean, burnout and such is hard, you know? Especially if you've, like, failed at completing things before, it's like on some level sometimes you'll just feel like discouraged from trying again, right? So anyways, the story so far here at Castle Tycoon is that Lena has realized something that Ferris, our other party member, didn't think she would realize, and that is that Ferris is Lena's long-lost sister. The actual princess, the next in line for the throne, who was lost at sea at a young age. And that Ferris's birth name is Sarisa. And Ferris is having a little bit of trouble accepting that. She's a bit brash and not exactly the princessy type. So, anyways, in chat, Pale Voyager says, there is an excitement and an anxiety every time I start a new game in my personal life and for the streams. Yeah, I mean, like, especially for something like a video game, more so than like a television show or whatever, a new, like, game is such a commitment. So, okay, so here's the water tower. We will come back here later. First, we have to, okay, nothing over here. So, after that quick pit stop at Castle Tycoon to get a few items, that's really what it was for. We're now here in the town of Waltz, who, as you can see here, very watery. They are benefiting from the water crystal. Even the Ribbit frog is benefiting. And as this guy says, the water crystal protects the town from monsters. Very much that kind of situation here. Nikki says, I noticed after I got CFS, which means chronic fatigue syndrome, that I could clearly feel the energy need difference between watching a new video versus an old favorite. It's like that with most things. New is best for ADD, except also AHH. Oh, no, except also, no more, because ADD. Of course, Korvac says the town of Watery, and then Pale Voyager corrects to Huatari. Yes. Alan Wake 2 references here in chat, apparently. So here we have new kinds of magic that I can't use yet, so I'm not going to buy them. There's no point in using them. So here we see this little tusk guy just hanging around. Can't do anything with them. This girl says, this is Garula. It lives in the forest near the tower. But Garula is shy, so don't tease it, okay? It's a big monster, but he seems quite friendly. Pale Voyager enlightening us on the lore of Alan Wake 2 in chat. Thank you. Pale, you must know this. Is Watery Washington an actual place, or is that just Sam Lake being Sam Lake? So I've just equipped myself with some new equipment. Just making myself a little bit more powerful. After all, we do have, as is always the case in an RPG, more dungeons coming up. And we need to stay ahead of the power curve. Pale Voyager answering my question says it's sadly very fictional. That makes sense. So anyways, my party is here to tell the King of Waltz to turn off their water crystal amplification machine. All the crystals are having their power amplified by these machines. We'll meet the culprit later on. But as it is, there's the thought that these machines might be kind of causing the crystals to shatter, which is bad. And our conversation is interrupted by a familiar sight for those of us who saw the intro of the game: a meteorite. Corvax, I'm very sad that I'm missing Cat Mimi being very cute. Pale Voyager giving more context. Sam Lake just wanted an excuse to do a Twin Peaks and Stephen King and inject Finnish folklore and culture into the story. Honestly, it goes kind of hard, so I'm glad he did it. Corvax says, there goes the dinosaurs. No, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get dinosaurs throughout the whole game. Corvax. No need to prematurely mourn the dinosaurs. Pale Voyager says, much like Japan keeps destroying Japan, meteors keep destroying the dinosaurs. I already said, no destroying the dinosaurs. So the meteorite has landed right outside the water tower of Waltz. The Tower of Waltz? The water tower of Waltz. I'm calling it the water tower. It's where the water crystal is. And things have gone down here. The gorilla monster that we met earlier is, it's gone berserk, which it's not supposed to do. Korvac says, don't cast meteor then. Dang. I mean, yeah, you cast meteor and then suddenly you have to deal with Holy in the live stream. Wait, that is a different Final Fantasy game. For those of you who might be curious, I have been playing Final Fantasy VII on the side. It's kind of a fun game. It's also funny to be juggling two Final Fantasies. Wonderful, I've got learning on Bart's. That is what I want to see. I will put him back on the night class. I'll have more to say about the job system very soon, but I do have things to say about it and how I'm going to approach it for the purposes of this stream, and just generally how I approach it in this particular game. Okay, Lena's got level 3 white magic, so I actually don't need her to be learning, to be on this class anymore. So we're gonna have her be a Diet Blue Mage for now. We'll have her in the front because we want her to do full sword power. Pale Voyager says not even in Final Fantasy VI because it was called Pearl back then. Because Western religious hegemony is snowflake pilled. Yeah, I mean I think that's okay, hold on a minute. I'll just cure everyone. Nintendo had very strict guidance on religious like iconography in their video games at the time. So, you know, kind of makes sense that like they would do that, although it does make like subsequent localizations kind of weird. That ice rod is not going to be good on Ferris. I'm gonna have to remember that. Nikki says, okay, my brain is tingling in a bad way. So I assume this is all the social I get for today. Glad I stopped by. Much love to you, to all. Heart, heart, heart. Thank you for showing up, Nikki. I'm sorry that your brain is doing this. I keep ice rotting. Chat is distracting me from doing proper strategy. But thanks for showing up, Nikki. Take good care. rest well, and, you know, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I mean, Korvax, if you don't want to purchase the next one, just wait till it releases and the fanboys inevitably tear it to shreds. And then your appetite to play it will basically be nil. Wait, no, if the fanboys hate it, that means it's good. Never mind me, Korvax. I don't know what I'm talking about. Pale Voyager, is Before Crisis Final Fantasy VII being restored and or preserved? Is that one out of service now? I would assume so based on like kind of like how you spoke there. Okay. Bye-bye Frost Rob. We'll bring you back later. Pale Voyager says yes, but it's slow going. That makes sense. Fan preservation projects are always quite slow. This is a better accessory. Let's find someone to put it on. Shiny and effective. I like the sound of that. Korvax, no, it's not the Vincent game. The Vincent game is Dirge of Cerberus Final Fantasy VII. And I think it's the latest game in the compilation of Final Fantasy VII. If I'm not mistaken, Pale, you will correct me, so please do. The knight says something interesting here. Says to the Garula, they're controlling you, aren't you? Who's controlling the Garula? Why? Garula's such a friendly guy. Okay. Want to protect Lena, because if she goes down I'm going to be in a bit of trouble. Whoops. That is not what that was supposed to be. Just attack with Bartz. So Garula's kind of a challenging boss battle. He has an ability called Rush, which causes you to lose health fast. So we're gonna try to keep everyone nice and healed up. Korvax in chat says, poor elephant mammoth baby. Yes, poor elephant mammoth baby. Pale Voyager says, it chronicles the movements of the Turks. As Yuffie is the best way to know when a thing is happening, she's 10 in Before Crisis, meaning it is 6 years before Final Fantasy VII. That means it's about a year before... No, because Crisis Core happens over the course of a few years, so it's during Crisis Core? Pale Voyager says, sorry, what am I clearing up? I missed what you said. I also missed what I said, so it's good. Oh dear, okay, alright then. Oh wait, no, I'm gonna let Ferris die before I do that. Please Phoenix down Ferris. White magic cure the Ferris. I want my mage healed up. Pale Voyager says, I'll check the VOD and get back to you. That's so kind of you, Pale. Thank you. Okay, rushing Bartz is what I like to see. Bartz has got plenty of health. He can do with that. Everyone wants healing right now. Korvax asks a very good question. I'd like to know too. I'd like to know if Korvax's girlfriend is in Before Crisis. Oh yes, that is what I was asking. Yes. See, it'd be very interesting if after they do the remake project, they end up doing a sequel to Dirge, where we just see, you know, what they do with the world next. Because, like, I don't really know much about Dirge, but having seen Advent Children, the world kind of looks like it's in a very dire place, like, after the events of Final Fantasy VII, and, like, I don't know, a game about kind of rebuilding that would be pretty neat, I think. You know, personally thinking. Oh my goodness, Garula just does not stop. Galuf, please punch him. Yes, okay. Oh no, Korvax is gonna want to play before Crisis. So, we've saved the water crystal. The Garula is not gonna break it apart. Thank goodness. Because, I mean, it would suck if the water crystal broke apart. Like that. Oh well. And then this guy gets up to leave. And he dies before he can. But he says something interesting here. Ah, Lord Galuf. Lord Galuf. Couldn't protect it. Forgive. And Galuf is like, tell me who I am, because he's a poor little amnesiac old man. And then the knight just says, please protect the fire crystal. Well, just railroading us right here. Now, the crystal fragments are glowing, and they will lend us their power. Resting within the shard, a warrior spirit. Time Mage. Resting within the shard, a warrior spirit. Berserker. Resting within the shard, a warrior spirit. Red Mage. Resting within the shard, a warrior spirit. Summoner. And resting within the shard, a warrior spirit. Mystic Knight. Yes, Pale Voyager. Galuf sure is a very important old man. Oh dear, something's going on with the tower, and I'm not going to be able to get that crystal, I think. Resting within the crystal, a warrior spirit? We'll find out sometime soon, I'm sure. Or, maybe not. And, it looks like we're kind of not in good sorts. But then, Ferris's adopted sibling, Sildra, who died last time, has come to rescue them. Whoop, gotta save the other party member. In you go. Korvax, yes, there are no classes in Final Fantasy VII. All of the class attributes basically were split off into materia, right? So in this game, Final Fantasy V, Counter is an attribute of the Monk class, but in Final Fantasy VII, there's just a materia that does that, right? With Cover, that's an aspect of the Knight class in this game, but it is made into a materia as well, etc., etc. The closest thing to classes in Final Fantasy VII is limit breaks, because those sort of inform how you play each character, as well as just the fact that the characters have wildly different stats. In Final Fantasy V, they're all very similar to one another. The stats just get modified by what job classes they currently have. Yes, Korvax, I agree. It is so sad. Ferris loses Sildra twice. Just absolutely brutal. Okay, I have to plant the dragon right there. So, now that we actually have those new magic classes, we can use these new magic spells. which I have enough money for. Okay, good. So, most players of Final Fantasy V play it so that Bartz and Ferris are mostly just take on the very physical classes, the classes that do a lot of direct weapon damage, while Lena and Galuf, they play them as mages that just spam magic all the time. I think that's dumb. Because the way the the job class system works is the characters become good at everything that they do. Or sorry, it's not zero sum to combine physical damage classes and magical damage classes. A character benefits more from mixing and matching than with specializing into any one specific thing. And so that is going to inform how I play the characters with the job system. I'm going to be giving these characters a very big variety of jobs because that is what makes them the most capable. So we'll keep Ferris as a Black Mage for now. I want her to get Black Mage at least level 3 because we're about to get level 3 Black Magic. And Lena already has level 3 White Magic, so she'll be ready to use the next upgrades, and I won't touch any of the new classes with Lena quite yet. This does mean... Oh goodness, let me think about this here. Okay, I'm going to put Galuf as a monk again, just so that, first of all, I don't have any good weapons for him. Second is I don't want to have just Lena be physical because blue mages don't do that much physical damage. Okay, this is how we're going to do it. Anyways, sorry for that long explanation. I just wanted to explain how I'm going to approach this game. Oh, actually, one more thing. I was thinking about it all this past week, and I'm going to try to show off every single job class in this game. There's some that are kind of stinkers and not very useful, and there are some that are just very underrated. And I'm going to show off all of them. So, you know, unlike standard kind of character builds that you would expect from this game, I'm not going to be able to mix and match everything at once, but I am going to be able to be a bit more flexible with how I use my characters at any given time. That is my explanation for that. So here in Castle Walls, there's quite a few hidden things. Some of which I'm probably going to have a little bit of trouble getting to, but I'm going to try. Just because I think it'd be fun to at least try. Okay, there's nothing this way. Korak says, I assume sticking with one class in each character in this game would probably make things very difficult in the long run. You'd be surprised, actually. The Wind Crystal jobs in this game benefit a lot from getting abilities, because on pretty much all of them, they can get secondary abilities that they just don't normally have access to. Right? The monk eventually gains an ability called Chakra, which heals himself and removes negative status. And you can just equip that as a secondary ability and just have it. Okay. Ferris, you don't have steel. Okay. We're gonna set Ferris as a thief because I want to steal from a few things here. We've got dagger, that's good. Kenpo-gi. Okay, she's gonna be a bit tanky here. That's good. Alright. By the way, I am reading the conversation as it's happening. Very funny conversation. Okay, nothing that I want to use here right now. That is a lot of damage. I do like how that looks. Let me just attack this toad here. Mithril Sword, that is exactly what I want to see. That heals him. Shoot, okay. That's right, Ice Soldier, Ice Rod, not a good combination. Okay, Mithril Sword, double Lenus attack. Very much like to see that. Okay, oh, actually. Okay, so we've stolen the thing, so I can set Ferris back as a black mage. Find passages. And put her back there. And that should also free me up for some better equipment on Lena. Alright. I'm going to briefly, no, I'm just going to try this. So I'm going to confess here, there is a very real chance that I lose the next battle. It is an optional boss battle that has a missable item, and I can do it now, and you're kind of intended to do it now, but it's also quite difficult to do at this point in time. At least if you're me. Okay. So we're going to avoid using MP when I can. Got an ether here. Got fire magic. Really none of these things equipment-wise. Mithril helm. Wait, that is a very good thing for me to have. Can't have that there. Can't have that there. Oh, okay. Well, I can't equip it yet. Alright, we'll try this. Gorvax says, oh no, we're YOLOing. That's right, I am YOLOing. Pit Mimi says, ahoy! Ahoy, Mimi. Welcome to the stream. You've missed a little bit. I've done one dungeon thus far, and I am about to lose to a boss, so please enjoy. Pygmy says, sorry, I was late back from work because hungover. Korvac says, that good FF5 boss music. Yes, the FF5 boss music is quite good. Oh, I should have considered hastening myself. Friend of the stream, an extremely competent mod, Pit Mimi. Wow, really talking her up. But I like it. Pit Mimi is fun and great. And apparently knows how to have a fun time, too. Okay. Fire all everyone again. Nice good 100 damage each. Still no one dead. Don't like that. With Zara, oh boy. Well, so much for hasting Bart's. Okay, I don't like the look of this. She's also an envoy for Scumland. Many hats. Yes, this is true. England is Scumland. I think we can all agree on that. And HR for the pee-pee poo-poo squad. And there goes my attempt. Okay, well, that was worth a shot. I will be back here later once I have more powerful magic. For now, yeah. For now, let's continue with the story. So, before things went down at the Waltz Water Tower, this meteorite showed up. And it's open. And so many hats, she could run a haberdashery. That's very funny, Corvax. Gallop saying something interesting here. This all looks very familiar, and the soldier in that tower knew me. Who am I? Well, he said Lord Gallop. That's a very interesting thing to say, if you ask me. Mimi, that's a very interesting question. What is the etymology of haberdashery? Wow. Don't feel like reading that full thing out, but wow, Chaucer strikes again. I agree. Corvax, very cool. Words and language are quite fun. It's a good time. Seems we have some real scholars here in chat. We'll just defend with Barts. Don't have good ways to attack yet. Pale Voyager says, I learned the word potable from one of the Fallouts. Ah yes, back when Fallout had something to say. Like, you should drink water. We're sharing so many fun facts in the chat today. There's a guy in one of the Fallouts who sells potent potables. Also just a good play on words. And everyone's getting levels, and even one job level. Isn't that lovely? Are we doing story time for learning words from video games? I guess so. So English, despite the fact that I speak it wonderfully excellently right now, is not my first language. My first language is French, specifically Canadian French, aka real French. That is what I spoke in school. That is what I was taught to read and write. I was never taught to read English. I ended up just slowly absorbing it over time. And then I bought a little game called Paper Mario. And that is a very wordy game. And it's a little challenging to get through when you can kind of not really read much. Especially if you only know how to read one language. But can sort of speak another language. Because the sounds of certain letters in English and French are very different. Having to correlate that with what I'm reading on a screen and with the small vocabulary that I currently have is kind of a challenge. Pitmimi says, why on earth would school not teach you English when the rest of the country speaks it? Pitmimi, there's a very, very good reason why French language elementary schools in a place where French is the minority language would avoid teaching English, which is, because it is the majority language, would be much easier to use in that place. And that is, it makes the best chance of acquiring and maintaining the French language. Nowadays in my day-to-day life, I don't use French very much. I sometimes speak it with Corvax, because she also, French is her first language. Pitmimi says, but it puts you at a disadvantage. It really doesn't. French language elementary schools here start teaching English classes in the 4th grade, and by that point, everyone in the class, at least, is fluent in speaking and understanding English, because you just absorb it through exposure, just cultural exposure, and, living in an English-speaking place. And so actually catching up English to, catching up the level of literacy to the one that would have already been achieved in French is very, very, very easy, very simple. I think Pale Voyager is right. 8 to 9 years old is when French elementary schools, French language elementary schools start teaching English. No one in my cohort had any trouble reading and writing English, despite the fact that we started much later from the English language cohort, because that's just what it's like when you are fully immersed in language. You absorb it. So, story time is done, now time for another story time. I have, in-game here, arrived at the town of Karnak, where I proceeded to attempt to buy a mithril knife, and was promptly arrested for the crime of exiting from the meteor, and thrown into jail, where I was, after a minute or so of running around in my jail cell, fruitlessly, accosted by a scientist named Sid, who had prepared an improvised explosive to try to escape. Because he, Professor Sid, had been arrested for trying to shut off the fire crystal amplification machine in the fire-powered ship. We'll get to there later. And the people of Karnak are just too used to their luxurious fire crystal-powered lifestyle. So they threw him in the clink. But now, the machine isn't responding, and there's trouble with the fire-powered ship. So we have to prepare for that situation, which is what we'll do. Pale Voyager in chat says, Dot, I'd say your English is probably better than mine, comma, TBH. Thank you, Pale. That means a lot. I spend a lot of time trying to think about how to best communicate my messages. This is, of course, born from an old kind of habit where, like, when I was younger, I would often be misunderstood and such. And so I felt that, maybe if I tried a bit harder at communicating my wants, needs, and desires, that I would be more listened to. Of course, nowadays, I understand that I was never misunderstood. I was just treated like garbage because that's what you do to an annoying kid. But that is kind of, from what I recall, one of the things that motivated me to really come to understand. Okay, hold on a minute. Longsword is better. Got Mithril Shield. Okay, got this knife here. That's knife. Okay, actually, I will put the knife on Bart's, and I'll put the Frost Rod on Ferris, and move Bart's up here. He's got good HP. Actually, it's the same as Ferris. Well, I'll put him up here. I want someone to do good damage here. Goodness, I'm missing so much. In chat, Pitmimi says, my daughter's school teaches French from 4 years old. Wow, England is something else. Corvax in chat says, the only people I know that don't have the best grasp of English, specifically grammar-wise, are my cousins. Their mom prohibited them from watching English media growing up, and they have very, very obvious accents, along with the grammar issues. Yes, it's rough. Your cousins are kind of rough. Pale Voyager says, oh, FF5 is the game with Sid in it. I wish they used him again in other games. That's very funny, Pale. He then says, I think my larger than average vocabulary is also a result of being treated like garbage and misinterpreting it as not being understood. Yeah, very common thing. Oh. Multilingual Europe is sure is a fascinating thing. Corvax in chat says, I think Sid should want to go to space and then hold a grudge about it for years when it doesn't work out. You should do that with the character in a future game. That's very funny, Corvax. Pale, for context, she just got to Rocket Town in Final Fantasy VII and got the tiny Bronco. So that should kind of give you an idea of where she's at. Pale, do you mean to tell me that Sid and Shara are in fact not a couple? So I thought they were a couple. Well, so have we seen anything of domestic Sid and Shara in Final Fantasy Rebirth? Because I don't remember that being the case. And I wonder if they're going to tweak that in Final Fantasy VII Remaster, Part 3. Because that's one of those things that I imagine the devs would want to correct, because it's not really, it's bad. It's bad. Oh, right, Corvax, that's true. I actually did completely forgot that phrase. Well, I did actually read that when I was in Rocket Town in my current ongoing playthrough of Final Fantasy VII. So here, my piano skills have leveled up. I'm now at piano level 5, I think. Or it's 4 or 5, I think. What's here? Warning me about a monster that will flash me. Yes, I know about the flash monster. I hope I will get flashed. Okay. We'll try to go into the fire-powered ship I have saved, so if I get completely wiped, then I don't have to lose everything that happened at Karnak Castle. Or Castle Karnak, I think is what it's called. So anyways, the fire, there's trouble in the fire-powered ship. Sid wants the party to investigate. But it's packed with monsters, because of course, a fire-powered ship is packed with monsters. In chat, Pale Voyager says, sorry, Sid and Shira are basically roommates. If there's more going on, it isn't tacitly or explicitly mentioned beyond sharing a living space and Shira doing domestic things that Sid is probably to insert the usual reasons here to do. That's a very interesting point, Pale. Didn't think about it that way. Can nobody equip the Mithril Glove? Good, I love that. Very happy about that. I think up there is the next way to go, so let's not go there. Nothing here for me to do, so let's not. Corvax in chat says, I'm very proud of myself for actually sticking with FS7 this time. I'm not ashamed of using the quote cheats unquote of the re-release version, that is, when I need to do in the Switch version either. I'm playing it in a way that will frustrate me the least. Pale Voyager says historians suspect they were roommates. Oh my god, they were roommates. Yeah, Pale Voyager for context, Korvax the first time she attempted to play Final Fantasy VII, she gave up shortly before reaching the gold saucer for the first time. Self-destruct. Okay, good. Self-destruct as well. Ow. Well, that's fine. I have learned the worst blue magic. Self-destruct. I will probably never ever use that, because why would you want to use a blue magic that kills you? That is so ridiculous. But at least I finally got a blue magic. I don't think I had a blue magic up until this point. Pitmimi says that it's not cheating if you're playing solo. That's so true, Pitmimi. You should say that again. Pale Voyager says, I think the cheats streamline a lot of the 90s tedium. Keep that to yourself, Pale. Some of us like 90s tedium. Korvax says, the Shinra building sneaking thing broke me, and then I just slowly gave up. Yeah, the sneaking in Shinra building's kind of tough. When I played, I literally intentionally got caught just so I wouldn't have to deal with it. You get good XP from doing that, though. Flash! More blue magic. I don't have any offensive blue magic. No, self-destruct does not count, because I will never ever use that. But now I've got flash as well. And that is lovely. And I have no eye drops. Oh, that's fun. Pale Voyager says, I like 90s tedium, but I understand it is a barrier to many people. I also understand that. I'm glad that the option to skip the 90s tedium is there, but to me, that is very much part of the appeal. Okay, I thought the poltergeist was weak to fire. Maybe it's weak to nothing. Oh, I love the double misses. Okay, are you weak to thunder? Or you at least take damage from thunder? No. Good. Okay. We're leaving. Alright, Lena. Heal us up. Got an elixir, that's nice. Korvax says, I disagree with Dot and I hate 90s tedium. Well, exactly, but you have the opportunity to play the game at your own pace. That's what I was saying. Oh, I got question mark some time ago. That was actually my first blue magic. Hadn't noticed it earlier. Oh yes, Pale, yes. Pale Voyager says, I ritually farm enough AP to get Mime and Counter Mime mastered 8 times each so I can Twink Stomp Emerald Weapon every single time I do an FF7 playthrough. I am Mr. Tedium. Pale, have you ever played this game series called Dragon Quest? They're very tedious. And I say that in a loving way, as in, I love how tedious these games are. Korvac says, it's funny, I loved some crappy games as a kid, but my patience has very much thinned over the decades and I simply cannot abide with a lot of the time-wasting stuff they have in some older games. Okay, good. I've got some level ups. I heal up some more. How much money do I have now? Really not much. Pale Voyager says, I have woefully played only a few. I am closing the gap though. If you haven't played Dragon Quest 1 yet, I legit think that one is my favorite. That game is stellar. It is wonderful. It is excellent. Gamma Ray, which does nothing apparently. Let's see if those guys explode to other magic. They don't. Pale Voyager says 7, 8, 9, 11, 7, 3DS. I'm so sorry, Pale, that you had to play 7 3DS. And countless spin-offs. Are you a monster tamer, Pale Voyager? I bet you tame slimes. Corvax asks, is DQ1 the one you made me play? It sure is, although I made you play the inferior Game Boy Color version with less 90s tedium. By 90s tedium, I mean 80s tedium, because that is a game from the 80s. Not the Game Boy Color version, that is a game from the 90s. Okay, good. I thought for a second Sid was going to try to push me back into the fire-powered ship. I was going to have a bit of a get upset. Because I very much do not want to get shoved into the fire-powered ship again. Not while I still don't have any eye drops, which, goodness, I'm going to need 20 of those. And I need heals at the end. Pale Voyager says, I am a monsters, the Dark Prince, also a treasures, and also a sword, Curse of the Mask, blah de blah, on Rails Wii game. And also the Dynasty Warriors ones. There's Dragon Quest Muso. Are those on Switch? I might check them out if they're on Switch. I like Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, except for the part where it runs like garbage on Nintendo Switch. So if I can get a game like that, but with more JRPG tedium, I think I'd be down to clown on that. Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2. Oh, okay. Oh, right, yeah. So I knew there were Muso ones, I just didn't know what they were. I don't care about those time magics. I don't want those. I guess I'll get Raise. Even though I really don't have the MP for it, at least I'll get it now. Oh yeah, Pale, you might want to check out Monster Sanctuary. It's like a cross between Pokemon and Final Fantasy 13. Specifically. It's pretty good. The story is, to put it very gently, the story is awful and stupid. But it's a good game. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, no. Lana still needs to be the Blue Mage. Pale Voyager says, Pokemon with killer violin music? No, unfortunately, the soundtrack is the one thing of Final Fantasy XIII that they didn't rip off. It's a 2D Metroidvania Pokemon with a battle system very much informed by Final Fantasy XIII. Pale Voyager, what do you mean by that? Also, I just remembered I should be casting this spell. Oh, I understand what you're saying, Pale. I don't know. Wow, another encounter right away. Okay. Yeah, eye drops are very awkwardly right there. Please give it to Galif. And that's a lot of damage. I love that. Monster Sanctuary is on PSN, says Pale. Oh, you can check it out. Yes, Corvax Galif can see now. And, where am I supposed to go? I'm having the Dragon Quest 1 problem, at least when Corvax plays it, where I suddenly don't know where to go. Is this it? Yes, this is it. Okay. Take the elevator up. Ooh. Pale Voyager is Peakweed. Okay. Insert the eye drops further up. Drops. And we got the Phoenix down. Corvax, do you mean watched or played? Oh, you mean never seen gameplay of. Okay, yes, I understand now. Corvax, I'm gonna bet, knowing Pale, he's going to very quickly start coming up with absolutely broken builds in Monster Sanctuary. Wow, a game with an anime film adaptation? Okay, did I go in the right hole? That's the hole I wanted to go in. I have Thief's Gloves. I don't think Ferris can equip them as a Black Mage. Okay. We'll get them on later. Oh, okay, so you just didn't get the game. You got the more successful part of the property, I guess. Now I think this is the way forward. I hope I'm right. Okay, that is not the direction I want to go in right now. This is the direction I want to go in right now. I got a Moonring Blade. And I can't equip it. on the character I want to equip it to presently. We'll get there at some point. So we have a save point here, so let's do that. Still got lots of MP, which I'm glad about. This is the end of the road. I do not want to go here. Absolutely not. Okay, so now I have to wonder where these other conveyor belts go. This one, I've been down, okay. Now I need to situate myself here, because I know there's an entire part of this dungeon, I think, if I remember correctly, where I can get extra goodies. So, where does this bring me? That's a good question. Corvax, you should get some snacky lunches. This is where I wanted to go. It wasn't through the conveyor belts at all. The conveyor belts were misleading. They were misleading. Voiced by Mickey Rooney antagonist. Ooh. Voiced by Yondu. That's Mickey Rooney, right? Pale Voyager, you'll have to correct me. I'm only very familiar with most of the Marvel films. I should not have iced that guy. That was not very ice of me. Goodness. Almost sneezed for y'all. And here is some armor, which Ferris can equip, but yes, Galuf can equip it. He's Green Beret up. Pale Voyager says Mickey Rooney was an old man when I was a baby, so maybe not. I must be thinking of someone else then. I think I am, as I would say, not really firing on all the cylinders today. Okay, big heals to that guy, but that's fine. The other guys are dead. We can attack him with the rest of our guys and not take nearly as much damage. Pale Voyager, not only have I not seen Pete's Dragon, I have never even heard of that. That's okay, Pale. You are welcome to be as old man as you'd like in this stream. It's true, you do look quite young despite the fact that you're in your 60s. That was a joke, I know you're actually in your late 30s. Corvax, that's such a you thing to do to avoid a movie. I didn't like the box art, so I didn't watch the film. Pale Voyager says mean heart. Pit Mimi, who apparently is still here, hi Pit Mimi, says, I think I saw Pete's Dragon once. What do you remember about how you thought about the film, Pit Mimi? Corvax says, I thought the dragon looked dumb. Okay. Nope, I still want to be Time Mage. I still want to be all these classes. I am liking what I see here. Corvax says, I love the tent in this game. The tent is nice. It's such a cute little thing. Okay, hold on. Oh, that makes that go back. Okay. I want to hit this lever, which moves that so that the treasure chest is accessible. Pit Mimi says, I am still here. I'm doing laundry. I guess you got the idea from Corvax. who was at some point in this stream, but probably not presently anymore at this point in time, doing laundry. Hey Mimi, you don't like weird blondes? What about weird blonde women? Korvax says, you know what's dumb? Never-ending story. I finally watched that movie a few years ago, and wow, I'm glad I never watched that one as a kid either. Messed up. Korvax, how do you think I feel as someone who actually saw that movie as a kid and doesn't remember anything from it presently, probably for good reason? I have no desire to watch it. Let's take out this guy with my punchy. Or the knife or the sword. Oh my goodness, Pale Voyager, that is an incredibly vivid description of a film. And somehow also relatable. How do films do it? How do they make themselves so relatable? Mimi says, I love blonde women, comma, I love all women. I love women too, Pit Mimi. I am a certified woman lover. Pale Voyager says, I too love all women. Yes, but Pale, you love certain women more than you love certain other women, if you catch my cold. So we've got Black Magic level 3 on Ferris finally. So for this upcoming battle, at least, I am going to set her up as a Thief Black Mage back row combo. The Moonrain Blade I got earlier is perfect for Thief because you can put them in the back row and it still does full damage. And I like that. Now let's retract this, which is important. And move this platform, and because I moved this one earlier, I can access this chest, which is an elixir. Korvax being real funny in the chat says, I know exactly what dot means. You like women with white hair. That's exactly what I mean, Korvax, thank you. Oh, and this is in response to what Pale Voyager says. He says, do I? I feel like I've got a pretty even spread. Yeah, but you like some girls a bit more evenly than you like some other girls, if you catch my Tokyo drift. Pale Voyager says, contrary to popular belief, Yoko Taro and I are different fellas. Yeah, but you like Yoko Taro's women. And robot women. And women with a little bit of extra DLC to them. Okay. So I've got no status conditions, I'm potioned up, I've got almost full MP except for Ferris, who... No, I'll save that. I'll probably just use an elixir during this upcoming boss fight. And here we are at the boss room, and here we have Queen Karnak, who doesn't want me to turn the engine off. And she says, infidels, you shall pay for interfering with my revival. Chat, I don't think that's Queen Karnak. I think that's someone else. Specifically, I think that's the purple bubble. I think the purple bubble is controlling her in some way. Pale Voyager, you're not crazy about 2B? Wow. Isn't that interesting? Okay. So, this boss is... Oh good, okay. Kind of weird. Every time you hit this boss, it does something different. Or specifically, it changes form and does a certain action. It also does actions if you leave it alone. The tornado form of the boss continually casts fire, or fire on itself, which recovers its HP. Actually. Oh, as I've explained this now, I remember. We're gonna let that happen for a little while. This boss, if I remember correctly, has a very finite amount of MP, we, and by we I mean me, because I'm a me, I'm going to exploit that. I'm going to exploit that. We're gonna let the boss run out of MP. While I set up on the boss. Himimi says, there are too many socks, where do I hang them all? You hang socks? Why hang socks? That's what I'd like to know. How hang socks? I just shove them into one another and they kind of just hold themselves like that. Pale Voyager, if I'm understanding correctly, you were describing the gameplay of Drakengard? Okay. So now, I think at this point, not enough MP. Yes! That is what I like to see. Haha, boss that I've always had a lot of trouble with. Fyra. That's fine. I believe the forms might have different MP. Oh, that is not fine. Lena is kind of a little dead right now. Okay. Blizzara. Ferris can. Just... oh dear. Okay. Lena is in a bit of a death loop right now. Not to be confused with the, I think, hit video game. I think it was a hit, Deathloop. Okay. High potion on Lena. There we go. She is out of the Deathloop now, at least. And, I'm going to use an ether, to quote ProZD. We've got more MP now. We're going to haste. Get Lena back up to speed. Punch this guy, who I think might be sort of a little unpunchable. Still Blizzara. Just do all the damage to it. I love how much damage that is. Kira, everyone back up. Pale Voyager says Deathloop is great. A perfect use of Souls-like mechanics to dampen the roguelike mechanics. That's a very interesting observation, Pale. Okay, I don't need to slow him. That's right, I've already slowed him. Now we are going on the offensive. We are going on the Great Cave offensive. But yes, this fight is much easier when he's not constantly healing himself. Then I can constantly heal myself and not really be worried about taking the fight very quickly. And there we are. A very hard boss battle made very easy by letting the boss heal themselves. Pale Voyager, have you been playing Night Rain? A certain blue Muppet that I follow on YouTube seems to quite like it. So here's some very important story information. Queen Karnak says, I was being controlled by something, an evil spirit. It desires to envelop everything in darkness. The crystals, it's not just the machines that are destroying them. Something evil is using their power to resurrect itself. Please, save the fire crystal. It's in the room just through that pipe. Alright. Into the room we go. Is 3-player co-op the new thing now? FBC Firebreak is also 3-player co-op if I understand correctly. I guess it sounds like Night Rain is also 3-player co-op. Pale Voyager says, I've played it a little, then I passed out. Ah. And the werewolf is reporting to Galuf. And Galuf doesn't remember a thing. But it seems that Galuf has a lot of friends in very high places. And this knight here, or soldier, whatever, is a little bit possessed, as you can see by the circle around him. It says just one more and the seal is broken. Mwahahaha. And then... uh-oh. The switch is broken. And... vent goes to the crystal. And another vent. Uh-oh. Oh, Mr. Wolf is trying his best to stop this vent. Galuf, I'll hold this back. You four must escape. Only one chance remains. Save the Earth Crystal. Uh-oh. I think things are going nuclear now. Go! Once the crystal shatters, the whole room will go up in flames. Get out of here and protect the last crystal with your lives. We have to help him, says Lena. But, whoops. And 4 holes right where they were standing. That is quite inconvenient. There breaks the crystal. And poor Wolf. Pale Voyager says early FF characters are always staying behind to hold back a collapsing environment. Shoutouts to various instances, which would be spoilers for other Final Fantasy games. No, Wolf, says Korvax. Yes, poor Wolf. And there goes the fire. And unlike the last crystal, we don't even get jobs from this one. All the crystal shards are over there. And Lena decides to inform us of something very, very important. The castle was held together by the power of the fire crystal. And Bart says, hold up, so now that the crystal's gone, the castle's gonna blow? Lena nods. Exactly. We have no time to lose. So I have 10 minutes to escape this castle. After 10 minutes, the castle will blow up. So, how healthy am I? I'm not healthy. Okay. So I'm gonna go back. I'm going to health up here. Fully restore myself. I have 6 seconds elapsed. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save during this countdown. And onward I go. So, earlier while I was here in Castle Karnak, a bunch of chests were blocked by fire. But now, because the fire has gone out, because the fire crystal has gone out in a blaze of crystal, all these treasure chests are now open, and many of them are now monster attacks. And I have very little time to basically get through as many chests as possible to get important treasure. Korvax says 10 minutes is a long time. How am I gonna cook my marshmallows if there's no fire? Korvax, marshmallows are not currently edible to you. So I would change my jobs around, except for the fact that the time still continues in the menu. That said, I will go into the menu, and I will up the battle speed massively while I'm in here. This will give me a little bit of extra time to deal with these battles, because it doesn't affect the timer speed, but it does affect how fast my ATB recharges, and the enemy ATB recharges. So the battles might be a bit harder, but I'll get to do more of them before I run out of time and run out of castle. Korvax says, I forgot that most marshmallows are off limits. Yeah, kinda sucks. Right? It's like people just think, oh, you can't eat bread with this. It's like, no, I can't eat mushrooms. I can't eat fries anymore. I just got ribbon. That's huge. Shoutouts to Vib Ribbon. The ribbon I just got was, it is a staple of the Final Fantasy series. When worn, equipped on a character, it prevents them from getting affected by just about every status condition known to man. Which is nice, because getting status condition kind of sucks. Okay. Gigas, please. Era. Okay. On the one character who doesn't have learning equipped. Good. Okay, we've got one more chance. Okay, arrow everyone. Tiny little bit of damage. Okay. Alright. Once more. Once more. Okay. I'm killing you. I do not have enough time. I have other chances to get arrow. I have arrow. Again, that's not going to be useful to me. Sorry, as you can hear from, she meant marshmallows, lol. Did I say mushrooms? Mushrooms are also off limits, but that's because I don't like them. Got a shuriken, which I can't even use yet, because the ninja class is presently at this moment, in the fire crystal chamber, and I can't go there. Pale Voyager says, participating socially with other game enjoyers makes me tangibly aware of how much knowledge and experience I have. You have a lot of knowledge and experience of various computer games, Pale. Actually, while I'm here and talking about the kind of scholarly pursuit of playing video games, I have a thing I kind of wanted to mention, and I don't really have a venue to mention it. A few weeks ago, a thought came up to me, and I'd like to hear your thought on my thought, and that is, I don't like the term video games. I think that video games as a term is over-inclusive. It is too broad a term, and not very helpful because, if you ask me, the kinds of games that I really like playing are games that are made like computer programs. They respect you as a user, as a person, and kind of your rights as a user. And it's like, to me, that therefore would mean like a computer game. Korvac says, when a thought comes up to you, I don't like it. I like it when I have thoughts. Thoughts are kind of funny. Lena's low HP. I don't like the look of that. And Ferris is low MP. I also don't like the look of that. Attack this guy. Okay, good. Alright. Not looking too good time-wise. Still have over half of my time left. That's not great. I have... Okay, let's see here. Lena's got so much MP left. Okay, let's heal up. Alright. Got another chest right here. It's a trap monster attack. And about my thought on computer electronic video games, I am elixiring this up. Ethers do not restore enough MP for my liking. Okay. Pale Voyager says, I've always found it, I assume by that you mean the term video games, to be antiquated. It is a very 70s term, and like movies, never got updated to something more accurate and colloquial. Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like the interactive electronic entertainment experiences that I like most, I feel like could be summarized as computer games as opposed to mobile games or network games. That is the actual term that came to mind. I'm like, what is the thing that is in common with all these electronic entertainment experiences that I don't like? It's that they are always connected to the internet and connected to other people, and you can't play them at your own pace. Please do not use arrow on Ferris. Ferris does not have learning equipped. Gigas, I'm counting on you to give me good magic. You have to meet me halfway here and at least hit someone else with that, please. Japan calls them TV games or terebi game. That still is pretty much just the same term as video games. Although actually it's even less accurate because, do they call Game Boy terebi game? Do they call, handheld Switch a terebi game? Many questions come to mind. And I don't know, I feel like maybe I should just start using the term computer game more, because that's kind of the wavelength that I'm operating at. Okay. Alright. Halfway through the timer. It's a trap monster attack. Another Gigas. Please air us someone else. Korvax says, I hate headphones, I hate them. I'm sorry about headphones, Korvax. Headphones do in fact suck. Pale Voyager says, I don't know where I sit, to be honest. Have you played many MMOs? Like online shooters, stuff like that? I assume you've played a lot of various experiences. And I have actually played my fair bit of like online shooter games. There we go, error to someone else. Pale Voyager says, my own bias makes, quote, computer games, unquote, feel like a parent calling everything Nintendo. I mean, a game console is basically just a glorified computer, and a single player game is just kind of a one-person computer program. I don't know. I feel like if we're to like actually talk about these things in a productive, I'm not going upstairs. I'm gonna have to cut my losses at some point. I'm cutting them now. There are 2 more chests out here that I want to open. Hello, monster attack. Korvax says we should go back to calling everything Nintendo. Honestly, Korvax, that's a very good point. Nintendo's the only one who seems to be making good games anymore. Other than Sandfall, apparently. I might end up having to check out that computer game that they have released. Clair Obscur Expedition 33, as they call it. Seems kind of interesting. Pimmy says Nintendo would sue us. I can call all of the games that I've played so far on the stream Nintendo games because they are all on emulated Nintendo consoles. Pale Voyager says you're right. I'm just a bag of lived experiences as a little autistic weirdo. That chest gives me Esuna, a level 4 white magic spell. Whoops, I have cured the wrong. Actually, I'm kind of fine health-wise. Okay, I'm gonna elixir Lena. I've gotten plenty of elixirs from these chests. I can kind of spend them to keep going here. It's a trap monster attack. Okay, alright. Oh, that should have been targeting everybody. Okay, I'm kind of, I've got 3 minutes left here. I think I've been toaded. How dare sorcerer toad Lena like this? Got level 3 time magic, my goodness, okay. Maiden's Kiss. Alright, I've got to run out of here now. I have barely 2.5 minutes to get through this boss fight. Okay. Sergeant says, you better bring it! Bring what? Pale Voyager says, if you get everyone towed, you can cast the Mystic Mungus and beat the game. Pale Voyager, I think you are repeating uncritically a urban myth. And then the boss battle turns into his true form. He is the famed bounty hunter. My goodness. I can't believe I just said that. Hunter Iron Claw. I was reading Iron Claw when I said that. My goodness, that is a misspeak of all time, I think. Okay, can't be slowed. Love to hear that. Kick does nothing. Attack also does nothing. Iron Claw. Fire type damage. Strong against steel types? No. Okay then. I'm gonna have to put my everything into this. Haste time. Regular attack. Death Claw. That is actually a blue magic, so I got a blue magic out of this, which is nice. I'm just gonna have to use my most powerful magic here. You kill all your yellow Pikmin in the clam in Pikmin 1. The next day, you'll have a yellow Pikmin. That's actually true, Korvax. You'll have 1 yellow Pikmin at the next day if you kill all your yellow Pikmin. Okay, alright, okay. We are out of here with a minute to spare. I got everything I wanted from this castle. It is time for Castle Explode. So we get 3 crystals here, and we saw 2 other crystals kind of fly off. You have, resting within the Shard of Warrior's Spirit, Beastmaster, Geomancer, and Ninja, which I alluded to earlier when I said that the Ninja crystal was down there. Pimimi says, I don't think you come across as obnoxious at all, Pale. Pale, you come across as based and knowledgeable. A real scholar. Pale Voyager says, did Mime fly away? No, Mime is currently underwater. It is currently in the Waltz Water Tower, where it's going to stay for, I don't know, maybe we'll get to it next time. I'm sure it won't take that long to get back to a crystal that was within 2 tiles of my reach, right? Mimi, are you saying that you live with Pale? This would be news to me. And now that I plundered the ever-living daylights out of that castle, I can start to go on to other classes. No, I want a different, I want learning on there for now. Maybe later. Okay. Lena has her own learning abilities, so let's put her on. Geomancer is fun. Let's do that. Give her the Geomancer weapon, the bell. Okay. We'll just take away her ability. No, goodness. Take away her ability to learn and give her white magic. I do need a healer on the team, so let's re-equip her real quickly. Sorry for the indecisiveness. And on Ferris, normally I would do a Ninja, but I'm not going to put Ninja on Ferris. I'm going to give her maybe Berserker. That's probably fine for now. Okay, now time to buy all the magic I couldn't buy earlier. I mean, that makes sense. That you say you're the angel on his shoulder, you're definitely an angel. Seeing Barrett through Mimi's eyes helped me appreciate him more. It's always good to see the world through the eyes of a woman who loves women. Mithril Hammer for our new Berserker. Mithril Sword. We will have the return of Mithril Sword now. Don't need a flail, I guess. Oh, and of course, actually still not done setting these. Let's give Galif learning for now. Frost Rod. The usual here. Time to get up on our summoner. And our geomancer can go in the backyard. Now let's fully properly equip Bartz. We'll give him Kenpo-gi, and apparently no no accessory. One more shield. And apparently more helm. And more hat. And one more armor. And glove. And armlet. Okay. Good enough. Good enough. No, we'll go Frost Rod on that and optimize. And still want Kenpo-gi here. And I'm not fully equipped. And I need to go buy more tents. I'm not quite fully equipped. You always forget one thing when you're in town buying stuff, right? Is it just me? Please don't let it be just me. This is very much a time where I need to be relatable. Korvax says, "See? I warned you." You did. I did not heed your warning because I did not see your warning. So let's continue our adventure and go backwards to where we've been before. It is time to have our revenge at Castle Waltz and deal with Shiva. Pale Voyager says, "Had an emergency. Multiple eyelashes dislodged into my eyeball. I had to go flush them. There is no God." Oh my goodness, Pale, I am so sorry. That is such an awful thing to go through. You have my sympathies. Korvax then says, "Buying equipment in FF7. Needing to leave the store and the town and call your stupid party members to check on their equipment." Korvax, I think that might be why the guide says to start picking out a permanent party, so you won't be constantly juggling equipment and stuff. I can kind of see the dream. Pit Mimi says, "The worst is when you think you are equipped and go through the loading screen to then realize you forgot something." Oof, yeah. See, at least this is a cartridge video game and there's no such thing as loading screens. Korvax says, "I don't know what's worse, eyelashes in the eyes or going through loading screens and then realizing you forgot stuff." Pale Voyager says they're equidistant hells. I'm not sure what the term equidistant here means. Oh, gust. That's okay damage. So, for those of you who've been watching, paying close attention, you'll notice I have no control of Ferris right now. That is how the Berserker class works. The Berserker class is Berserk and just kind of does whatever she wants. Or he wants, I guess, if you equip it to a boy. But why would you want to do that? Pit Mimi says, "Eye trauma is worse, especially when you have contacts in." I'm so glad I don't know how contact lenses feel like, because I imagine they would feel awful. Korvax in chat says, "I've never tried contacts as they seem too scary. Sticking with the glasses." See, Korvax, what's nice about glasses is you look real cute in them, like a librarian. Pale Voyager says, "Whichever hell rung eyelashes in the eye is, loading screens and forgetting stuff is on the same rung." Oh, I understand now, Pale Voyager. You're saying that they both suck. Okay, sort. I've got 10 tents now. I have a 10 load of tents. And now I have a 9 load of tents because I've just consumed this tent. Because apparently using a tent once consumes it. These guys are not very environmentally friendly. which is odd considering that their entire shtick is saving the environment. Pimimi says, I can't wear things on my head, so I need to wear contacts. Aww. That's unfortunate, because contact lenses are less cute than glasses, which make a girl look like a librarian. Pimimi says, my eyesight is awful, but wearing head things is hellish. Very sorry to hear that, Pimimi. Yes, Corvax, that's a good question. Can you get LASIK, Pimimi? Pale Voyager says LASIK terrifies me. It also terrifies me. And I might want to remind y'all that I am someone who has previously gone through a very invasive surgery in the groin area to completely reconstruct it. And LASIK scares me. Pimimi says, I'm not sure. My eyes are broken from an accident. Ooh, lore? Lore Mimi? But also, I'm so sorry you've had to go through an accident that breaks your eyes. It's very unfortunate. Did you get superpowers out of it, though, at least? I would hope so. Whoops, thankfully that missed, because otherwise I would have healed him. And he is now dead. I was kind of thinking about putting Ferris back as a black mage for this upcoming battle, but I'm looking at how she performed there, and I'm feeling good. Okay. Alright, Shiva. It's time to melt. So first things first, we use the new Spellblade ability on Bartz. And he enchants his blade with the element. And Galef is just gonna Chocobo. Chocobocolina. There's a Final Fantasy. Pitmimi says, I smashed my face in as a child. Oh my goodness, Pitmimi. And my stepdad didn't take me to the hospital. Oh my goodness, Pitmimi. That is the real oh my goodness, not being taken to the hospital. I also hate your stepdad, Pitmimi. I want that to be known. I hate your stepdad. Pitmimi says, I got a week off school because I had 2 black eyes and a mashed up forehead. Oh my god. Frown face. Bardock says, no, not Chocobocolina. Pale Voyager says, the Chocobocolina deep cut. 2 kinds of Final Fantasy fan. So, that Gaia ability in that last battle kind of did work. Being able to do 500 damage to everyone for free is kind of awesome. I'm gonna chase this feeling. Pale Voyager says, Mimi, I'm glad you beat the spread. You're such good people. Not only that, but you have a lovely voice. Figured I should mention that again. But yes, you are such good people, Pitmimi. Glad you're in good spirits. So anyways, that segment there was how that was supposed to go. You were supposed to win that battle and not lose it in game over just a few minutes into the stream like I did just a few minutes into the stream. Korvax says, I want to know what the chocobo breeding is like, but I'm so far away from it. You get it like halfway into disc 2, Korvax. And you're getting close to the end of disc 1. I'm presuming that you are not playing it right now. But you're a dungeon and a half away from it. Unless you do the Wutai side quest, which you should probably do after. But yeah, you're close. Korvax then says, it's okay, you got your revengeance. Not only did I get my revengeance on Shiva, I have also, technically speaking, and this is purely a technical term, made her into one of my summons. Because I can now summon Shiva. Pale Voyager says, Wutai becomes more important as time goes on. Yes, Pale, but like, I mean, like, she could technically do all of the Wutai side quests right now. Not that she should do the last one, because then you miss out permanently on getting Trine on your 4th enemy skill materia. Which I know for you is basically sacrilege. But yeah. Korvax says there's 4 of them. Yes, you have 2 of them now. Number 3 is in the capital of the Ancients. End of disc 1. And the 4th one is after you get the airship. Pale Voyager in chat says, by which I mean it was a footnote in FF7, then became relevant in Crisis Core, and then became a major plot point in Final Fantasy VII Remake / Integrate / Rebirth. Yes. And it's funny because like Wutai has become very important in the Final Fantasy VII remakes and rebirths. But we've not seen it yet. Korvax says, I need to rewatch Crisis Core because I need more Zack. No, not the feelers again. I've gotten feelers. Oh, but these are different feelers. Galuf has been turned into an actual old man now. Oh, I like that. Earthquake. Okay. Pale Voyager says, casting old on Galuf is a lot of kinds of messed up. Yes, it is. It is. It so is. It so is messed up. Hasn't he been through enough? Zuzu. Kalamazoo. Korvax says, all the technically guys trying to feel you. Yes, and yes, Korvax, Galuf does look ancient in his character icon portrait thing. Korvax says, I love this bird. Korvax, it's the same bird that you fought on Mount Nebel. Big bird enemy, same enemy. He doesn't have Cura. He doesn't have any of those. I want, not Time, not Black Man, I want that white magic. What are we gonna get now? Gust. That's a bit of a weak flying type move, isn't that, Lena? Korvax says, yeah, that's what I was assuming. I didn't get a good look in FF7 because I only saw it that one time and I was on X3 speed. Yes. Another Gust. That's kind of good actually because Earthquake probably wouldn't have done anything. And here we have a desert, and here I will have a very ominous saving the game. And Pale Voyager says, by my haberdasher's polka dot Stetson, Galuf is the best boy he can be. So true, Pale. Galuf is a good boy. What does Quicksand do? Nothing. That's interesting. Aqua Breath. Okay, alright. How much do I die to this? I don't die to this. Alright. Diamond Dust. Big damage. Please, Ferris, do something. Yes! Yes, that is what I wanted. I've beaten the Ruby Weapon and gotten the best materia. No. I beat the Dorm Chimera in the Dorm Desert, and I now have one of the best blue magics in the entire game. Aqua Breath, or as it's known in FF7, to speak it in Korvac's terms, Aqua Lung. I don't think it's great to make... I don't think that that's a good Jethro Tull reference to make, but that's the reference that they made in FF7. That game is badly localized. And let's summon to get rid of these guys. Not that it's particularly necessary, but a normal attack would be a little silly considering that Galuf has once again been given a touch of the old. Poor guy's aging. I'm kind of glad that they removed this status effect in later FF games, because it is brutal. If you, you constantly level down when you're afflicted with old, aging, and you don't level back up when you're cured. You only level back up after the battle has been ended. So it's just a bad time. Pale Voyager says, or if it's known in FF6, the default one, is Water Breath the default blue magic attack that you use in that game, or do you just start with it? Is that what it is, Pale? Because yes, I'm pretty sure Strago starts with some blue magic in FF6. Yes, Korvax, I mean I level up in battle. I level down in battle. As you're affected by the aging status, your character's level goes down, and so too do all their stats, attack, defense, etc. Not their HP, not their MP, but the rest of them, and then it wears off after battle. Pale Voyager says, yeah, Strago comes with it. That's what I thought. There's not much better for Strago than Aqua Breath, is there? So I think that's how it is. Okay. I think I'm going to call it. It has been 2 hours. I have made good progress. I am now at the next dungeon, which is just a library. It's not actually a dungeon. There's no monsters here. Trust me. There's no monsters. I'm lying, there are monsters, but we'll see them next time on Final Fantasy V. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. Bitmimi, Pale Voyager, my lovely Korvax, and Nikki as well, who was here much earlier in the stream. Thank you all for coming, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm glad you thought it was such a good stream. Pale Voyager, yes, we did it. Okay, I understand what you mean now. Korvax says, next time, monsters. Yes, next time, monsters. And yeah, thank you all. Pale Voyager says, thank you for streaming. Thank you for saying that, Pale Voyager. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. So anyways, that's it. Bye, everyone. See you next time.